Take a look at the person next to you. Say, I recognize the God in you. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together.
We come together.
We come together.
Come together.
We come together.
Come together.
In the name of love. We come together.
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 Come together.
In the name of love. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, God loves you and I love you too.
God loves you and I love you too.
Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together.
We come together.
We come together.
Come together.
We come together.
Come together.
In the name of love. We come together.
Come together.
We come together.
Come together.
Come together.
Come together.
In the name of love. Every walk of life.
Ooh, every walk of life.
Every creed and color.
Every creed and color.
Kinship we unite.
In kinship we unite.
In honor of the God in each other. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, Namaste, I bow to you.
Namaste, I bow to you.
Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together.
Come together.
We come together.
Come together.
We come together.
Come together.
In the name of love. Come together.
Come together.
We come together.
Come together.
We come together.
Come together.
In the name of love. We come together.
Come together.
We come together.
Come together.
We come together.
Come together.
In the name of love. We come together.
Come together.
We come together. We come together.
Come together.
In the name of love. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Come on now. Gonna let Spirit love me now. Worthy of this love. Gonna let Spirit love me now. Worthy of this love. Let Spirit love me now. Worthy of this love. Gonna let Spirit love me now. Worthy of this love. Spirit loves me. Spirit loves me. I know that. I know that. Spirit loves me. Spirit loves me. That's a fact. That's a fact. Oh, I'm gonna let Spirit love me now. I'm worthy of this love. I'm gonna let Spirit love me now. I'm worthy of this love. When I'm down,
When I'm down,
I turn to you.
turn to you.
When I'm down,
When I'm down,
you pull me through.
pull me
Oh, I'm gonna let Spirit love me now. I'm worthy of this love. I'm gonna let Spirit love me now. Worthy of this love. I'm worthy of this love. I'm worthy of this love. Worthy of this love. Oh, give yourself some love. Good morning. How y'all doing this morning? Oh, man, I can feel it. I feel the energy in the room. Do you feel it? Well, good. That's good because I wouldn't want to feel it by myself. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I'm Reverend Sonny Cantrell Smith, the founding minister of Ahava Center for Spiritual Living. Ahava is the Hebrew word for love. And what does it mean? I almost stumped them for a second. What does it mean? Whew, thank goodness. I also have the great blessing of co-ministering with my co-minister, our newly ordained Reverend Rainbow.
So, yeah, we had to have her wear her stole today just to prove that she indeed get it on Friday night and that she is ordained. So, if you are joining us on live stream, welcome. Please say hello in the chat and let us know from where you're tuning in. We would love to get to know you. We have practitioners online that will be saying hello and love to find out how you got online to see us, because it is a blessing for us. And make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Also, you can subscribe to our channel on YouTube. We've got a goal of 1,000 now. And so isn't that great? We have a goal of 1,000 people watching us on YouTube. That's amazing. Give yourself some love. Wow. And if you're in the room, we encourage you to take out your phone if you hear something that you want to share. And believe me, we've got 2 guests in the house today. We representing Dallas with Reverend Dr. Petra Weldes. Yes. And we also have Chicago in the house. Our vocalist extraordinaire, Tiffany Monique. So we had a hell of a party on Friday night, and we're going to have a hell of a party today. Okay, that's all I got to say. So we are a conscious community committed to curiosity so that we may provide a loving space to be reminded of the truth of who we are. We are an open and affirming community, so whoever you are, wherever you are on your path of spiritual discovery, you are absolutely welcome here. And we also know that we are a reflection of one another, and so I want you to just take a moment and say good morning to the person next to you and thank them for being a reflection of you. We also have a vision here, and let's all say that together. Should be on the screen right now. We are an inclusive community committed to global transformation through personal evolution. We also have a purpose, and it is to
Wake up.
step up and make a difference. And our affirmation for this week is, my life as the divine is perfect. Please repeat after me. My life as the divine is perfect. So if you are a first-time visitor here at Ahava, we would love to especially welcome you because your presence makes a difference. And so we would love to give you a special gift for just showing up here this morning, because our energy gets changed when you come into our community. And so we have a core council member who would love to come by and give you a gift. If you are willing to raise your hand or stand up. Do we have any first-time visitors here this morning? There we go.
This is Susan from Louisville.
All right. Hi, Susan, and thank you for joining us. We're also grateful for the many people who serve with their time, talent, and treasure here at Ahava each and every week. And so I want to give a special shout out to all of our volunteers who serve in order to create this sacred place and space. So let's give them some love as well. I also want to remind everybody that now that Reverend Rainbow is ordained, she's taking a month off. Go figure. What's up with that? Okay. No, we want to encourage her to take a month off, and so Reverend Cynthia and I will be handling the ship. Yeah. Also, Taste of Ahava. Do we have something exciting coming up or what? I know it's going to be incredible. It's a blues concert. Tell us, Joe, what the heck's going on with that?
We're going to have a party coming out. It's going to be on August 12th. Starts at 6 o'clock. We're going to do 2 sets of blues. Going to be a lot of energy in the room, so bring your dancing shoes. I believe there'll be a food truck outside right here. Where else would it be? It's right here. This is where the action is. It's the
It's
place
the
to
place
be.
to
All the
be.
all the cool people know that already, so tell your friends, make them cool too. We're going to have a food truck outside so you can get some refreshments. We're going to do 2 sets of really good high-energy blues. So come prepared to dance and have a great time.
Thank you, Joe. Do we have to have experienced the blues in order to really?
No, but the best cure for the blues is the blues.
Thank you.
It's the happiest music in the world, believe it or not. It is the happiest music in the world. And if you're not smiling when left, you haven't been listening.
All right, all right. So we also have game night, which is hosted by the men's group, and it's open to all. It is Saturday, July the 30th, from 4 to 8 p.m. right here at Ahava as well. Next week, we are celebrating Ahava's 13th anniversary. Is that? And that's right, we're entering our teenage years. So get ready for that. If there's any parents in the room, you'll get what I'm talking about. And we will have cake. So make sure and it's a great day to invite a friend, a neighbor to come on by and check out Ahava and have some cake. Yeah. Also, we're looking for a donation. We really need a new computer. It can be a desktop or a laptop, but fairly new, something that will is compatible with Windows 11. So if anybody has any leads or insights on a new computer or wants to donate a new computer, just let us know. And I think that's it, except acknowledging this amazing band that we have, starting with Joe Cinquina, our music director. Lauren Deckenberg on keyboards and reading. John Dittert, without his beard, on drums. Jeff Watts on sound. Our guest vocalist today, as I said before, is Tiffany Monique. And our practitioner doing our centering is Kim D'Amato. So let's all, this is the time of the morning I invite you to drop into that heart space. Really drop down and allow your soul to simply be fully present in this moment. As the music takes us within and Kim does our centering. In this place, my soul is free from the light within. I see all the joy, all the peace. Carry me, carry me, carry me, oh, carry me. In this place, love abides. Holy light, surrender me. All the joy, all the peace. Carry me, carry me, carry me. Oh, carry me.
Dropping into that peace. Dropping into that infinite source. That source like the flow of the summer breeze I felt this morning. Dropping into that one perfect mind. I know that Spirit is right here and right now. In this place, in this moment, in every single moment. And I know this Spirit as love. I know it as joy and freedom. I know it as abundance. And I know that as this is the truth of the one life, that this is the truth as each and every one of us, each and every person here and part of our Ahava community. And as my words are carried out into the universe, I know that we are blessed. We are blessed by every single moment together, and I bless this time together. I bless every heart and soul that is part of this beloved community within earshot. I bless our beloved volunteers. I bless our music team. I bless our practitioners. I bless our beloved ministers. Knowing that all that needs to be said today will be said, and all that needs to be heard today will be heard. And with a grateful heart, I simply let this centering be. Saying it, so it is. Amen.
All the peace, carry me,
Carry me, carry me, oh, carry me. Amen. Lauren, would you be so kind as to do our reading this morning?
Today's reading is entitled Skinning Your Knees on God by the Persian lyric poet Hafiz. Little by little, you will turn into stars. Even then, my dear, you will only be a crawling infant, still skinning your knees on God. Little by little, you will turn into the whole sweet, amorous universe in heat on a wild spring night, and become so free in a wonderful, secret, and pure love that flows from a conscious, one-pointed, infinite need for light. Even then, my dear, the beloved will have fulfilled just a fraction of a promise he wrote upon your heart. When your soul begins to ever bloom and laugh and spin in eternal ecstasy, oh, little by little, you will turn into God.
So it's my pleasure and blessing to introduce to you Tiffany Monique, who is a soul-infused jazz stylist. Tiffany Monique has been a force on the Chicago music scene for over 20 years. Her daring rhythmic ideas and unique improvisatory delivery place her in an elite class of vocalists. She is a storyteller. You going to tell some stories today?
I'll tell some stories.
All right, don't lie to me now. Delivering lyrics straight from the heart and taking you on an emotional journey through grooves and moods. Spontaneous compositions are revealed in every performance. Tiffany has graced jazz's most distinguished venues around the world, from Chicago's Jazz Showcase, City Winery, and the Chicago Jazz Festival, to the Catano in New York City and Vogue's International Design Festival in Moscow, Russia. I'm glad you made it back. Tiffany's latest project, Call It Magic, and I think that's on sale, yes? Oh, great. Was produced by Grammy Award-winning producer Jeff Leverson and is available for purchase after the service. You know, let's give her a great Ahavian welcome.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. It feels so good to be here with all of you. Once again, we had so much fun on Friday evening celebrating Rev Rainbow. Thank you so much for being so open and welcoming to me in this beautiful community. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om. 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 Peace inside my mind, God and only God is moving me. Peace inside my mind, God and only God I live to see. Peace inside my mind, God and only God is moving me. Peace inside my mind, God and only God I live to see. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om. Joy inside my mind, God and only God is moving me. Love inside my soul, God and only God I live to see. Joy inside my mind, God and only God is moving me. Love inside my soul, God and only God I live to see. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om. 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 So in the essence of my presence, in the words in which I mentioned, this God intervention that has come inside my soul to know the I am presence, the who am I, the what am I, the where is I, which is L-O-V-E, love in the air, that I know surrounds you, surrounds your spirit, your soul, in which you care, because God's intervention is coming this morning to give you breath of life, spirit, moment of truth, time for passing in silence, quieting of the mind, the breath of life with the I am presence in which I know integrity, excellence, diversity, prosperity, service, love, wake up, step up, make the difference, in which you know the purpose of this inclusive community as we globally transform through our own personal evolution to come out into search of who we are in equality and in love, in hope, in truth.
In the dream of the dream in which you dream, what is that? Ask yourself today, this morning. What is that? Ask yourself today. What is that? Ask yourself today, this morning. The I am presence of life and love. Hey, oh, Om Shanti. The ever peace inside my soul. The ever peace inside my soul. Oh, Om Shanti Om, yeah. Oh, Om Shanti Om, yes. Om Shanti, peace, love, joy, harmony, breath of life. Hey. Oh, said hey, oh, ooh.
Reverend Dr. Petra Weldes. Welcome home. You know you love us. So just a little bit of information for those of you who are not familiar with Reverend Dr. Petra Weldes. She has passionately been teaching science of mind for over 35 years. And she looks so young, you know? You must have started when you were 12, right? That's it. She is passionate about bringing science and spirituality together, along with deep mysticism and practical psychology. Her purpose is transformation, and her mission is to grow people, communities, and ideas. She has written countless articles for the Science of Mind magazine and spoken nationally and internationally on spirituality, leadership, and positive, practical metaphysics. She serves as co-spiritual director of CSL Dallas, a center for spiritual living, creating a dynamic, diverse spiritual community since 1998. She has served in the leadership of Centers for Spiritual Living for over 25 years. Come on, give it up for my friend, Reverend Dr. Petra Weldes.
Yay, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love being in my home away from home. Yes. So great to be here. Thank you, Reverend Rainbow, for inviting me for the ordination and for allowing me to be a mentor of yours for the last 3 years. It's been just truly a joy. And truly a joy to work with Reverend Sonny and your core council. This time I got to work with the practitioners, which is also, we have the second half this afternoon. It's so wonderful to be with a thriving, spiritually deepening community who is doing amazing work, not only for yourselves individually, but in the world. And as we know, that work is so necessary, isn't it? Yeah, we can't just get away with doing our own work anymore, can we? There's now a whole boatload of stuff going on out there that we have to be working on as well. And so today we're talking about you are star stuff and our relationship in the context of relationship, our relationship with nature. And if I may be so bold as to plug an article I have in Science Mind magazine next month on nature. I highly recommend it to you. I had a boatload of fun writing it. So this is this is very weird to be standing behind here. So I'm going to stand in front of it. I know. It's like, this feels very strange. All right, good. Okay. So Carl Sagan, we are made of star stuff. We are the way the cosmos knows itself. Everybody knows who Carl Sagan is, right? Do you know that Ernest Holmes in The Science of Mind says exactly the same thing? Mm-hmm. We are made of soul stuff. And we are the way that the universe is waking up to itself. We are all connected to each other biologically, to the earth chemically, to the rest of the universe atomically. Neil deGrasse Tyson. He goes on to say this: we are part of this universe. We are in this universe, but perhaps more important than both of those facts is that the universe is in us. Yeah. It is so amazing to be living in the time period where science is once again discovering the truth, the mystical truths of life. For hundreds of years now, that separation has caused us to move away from our relationship with life, and most importantly, with this beautiful planet upon which we live, which is our home. It also causes us to move away from the love of our bodies, the love of our experience of being human, the joy that there is of simply engaging in so much that brings us taste, sound, feelings. We have become so disembedded in all of that that we have forgotten that we are inextricably a part of it, that we don't have a relationship with nature, that it is the place here where we actively engage and express the truth of who we are, which is the universe showing up as individuals, as you and as me. And without this, the infinite is not infinite. Without this, the infinite is not infinite because it's unexpressed. And so it is unfulfilled. Creation, as Ernest Holmes says, is the logical and necessary outpicturing of spirit self-knowingness of itself. Creation and the absolute infinite reality are two sides of the same coin. You cannot have one without the other. Without creation, spirit is simply potential. And you are the place where the universe is waking up to that fact, where the universe is getting to see itself and be itself and experience and express itself in wholly unique ways that have never, ever been expressed before. But it, for us today as human beings, right, it requires, it requires a planet, doesn't it? And air and water and all of the beautiful resources of this beautiful home. All of that is required for the infinite to express itself as you and me. You see, in the science of mind, we understand that intelligence, that humanity, and the spiritual truth of who we are is not the product of evolution. Evolution is actually the product of the infinite life seeking an organ, seeking to evolve an organ that can wake up, that can be the place where the universe can wake up to itself. You see, we don't hear because we have ears. We have ears because there is something to hear. This physicality has been evolved over the 4 billion years of the life of this planet so that the universe has an organ that is complex enough that it can wake up to itself. We are the product of that evolution. Ernest Holmes quotes Thomas Troward, who quotes the Hindus back to the ancients. Consciousness sleeps in the rocks, waves in the grass, moves in the animal, and wakes up in the human. Or anywhere else that self-awareness begins to awaken. right? So who knows, dolphins and chimpanzees and places elsewhere in the galaxy. We're just most interested in ourselves, aren't we? So, right? So what we know to be true is that self-awareness is awakening in the human being. And it is consciousness that is the push behind all of this. We are the product and the place where consciousness is individualizing itself so that it can experience and express itself. And all of this is a part of that evolutionary process. And if we were in a different dimension and a different part of the multiverse, the expression might look very different, but it would be there for the same purpose. An infinite potentiality requires an infinite number of ways to express and experience itself. And we're part of that. And so that makes all of this actually a part of the one, doesn't it? Which, of course, our quantum physics is discovering, right? They used to say, well, there's a wave, and then it's a particle. No, we're not sure, is it a wave, or is it a particle? And do you know what they call it now? A wave particle. They call it a wave particle. One word, it's a wave particle. Just like we're spiritual beings having human experience, right? It's a wave particle. And when it's in its potential state, it's a wave. And when something causes it to be particularized into expression, into physicality, into an electron or a proton or a photon, right? In that moment, it has moved into something physical. And it is the same thing as the wave, only now it's particularized, and then it disappears, and then it particularizes again, and then it disappears. And without the particularization of the particle, it stays purely potential. It is the wave of potentiality on the quantum field that then begins to whoosh, into particularization. Wait, doesn't that sound a little familiar? Wow, right? Isn't that amazing? Oh my gosh. Yeah. Of course, the ecofeminists have known this for decades. The ecofeminists were the ones who coined the term Gaia, that this is a living, breathing organism, that this is a wholeness, the trees and the plants and the animals and the atmosphere and the minerals and us, all part of one living, breathing organism. And again, that at some point, consciousness, that living, breathing organism, evolved something that could leave the planet and look back at itself and see itself, right? We saw those beautiful photographs that have come from when the astronauts are looking back on Earth, right? And all of a sudden we see how beautiful it is, and there are no borders, and it's just amazing. And we can, of course, from space, we can see what we are doing to the planet. It's not all only beautiful anymore. And so, ecofeminists say today that that is the reason why we have been evolved, so that we can leave Earth and turn around and look back and see what it means to make unconscious choices. See what it means not to understand that not only are we in relationship to it, but we're a part of it, intimately one as an expression, not just of spirit, but of Gaia itself. And that we must begin to be able to see that. Ernest Holmes not only speaks about the creation being the logical and necessary outpicturing of the manifest universe being an outpicturing of the one infinite reality. He goes on to quote Sri Aurobindo, and he says, there's a purpose for all of this. You know what the purpose of all of this is? The delight of the divine. You and I, and all of creation, from the most minuscule, annoying mosquito to the most grand and glorious sequoia that you can imagine, to everything in between, is here for the delight of the divine. For the delight of expression and experience. I mean, why else would food taste so good, really, honest to God? Why would there be such a thing as chocolate or succulent fruit? Cake. Right? And the ways in which children, infants feel on our chests, right? And a kiss with a beloved, all of these things, right? All of this is part of the expression and experience of life. And one of the most profound and beautiful and joy-filled things about science of mind is that we don't make any of this wrong. And we're not trying to get away from it. We're not. We're not trying to transcend our human experience. We're not trying to leave our human experience and become so spiritual that none of this matters anymore. We are actually seeking to express the divine and experience it as us, as we are living in this beautiful creation. What an extraordinary thing. So markedly different from other spiritual traditions. We have to go all the way back into the goddess traditions, into the indigenous traditions, where we once again see what it means to be an embedded soul, spirit in form, in life, engaged in this way. So, what in the world has happened? How did we mess it up so much? Right? So we have this little factoid that comes from our Judeo-Christian culture that we were given dominion over the earth. And yeah, and so, right, and then that got added on, on top of that, onto power and patriarchy and then science, and dominion meant I could do anything I wanted with it for my own gain. We forgot that the root word of dominion actually means stewardship. It actually means care for, not power over. Yeah. And we've been living out that mistake or faulty thinking. We've been living that out now for centuries, and we're coming to the place where we can no longer afford to live in that relationship with the infinite expression of life called creation. And so as we have evolved spiritually, as humanity is evolving spiritually, do you see we have gone beyond dominion, beyond stewardship, to the place of co-creation. We begin to recognize that we are, in fact, co-creating the experience that we're having. Good, bad, or indifferent, we are co-creating it. And so, as we know, Science of Mind teaches us we have to take responsibility for that which we are co-creating, because we are, in fact, co-creating it. And I promise you, we will not recycle our way out of it. We have to engage in an entirely different way with this beautiful blue jewel that is hung in the middle of the galaxy, actually in this arm out there in the side of the galaxy, and truly take responsibility for our co-creation, which means, as you know, exactly the same thing that it means in our own lives. We have to take responsibility for our choices, for our decisions, for how those play out, for how they affect the things around us. And when we do that, do you see, we are taking our proper place as awakened beings. Because we are awakened and we become conscious of what we are choosing, what we are doing, how we are speaking, seeing, holding, living our lives. And then we begin to experience our oneness in a whole nother way, don't we? We begin to experience our relationship to this whole out of that place of oneness. And so it's really interesting to think, if you study biology, right, all the new stuff that they're learning, have you read all this thing about the secret life of trees, right? And how underground, through the mycelium and all that, they're all connected. It's all one. There's this huge thing happening. If you've done any reading or research around ecology and ecosystems, right, we see that biologically there's this amazing oneness, and everything is related to everything else, and everything impacts everything else, and it's all a part of the health and well-being of a particular ecosystem. So oneness that we think of as an intellectual idea or a spiritual abstraction, we can look into biology and into the ecosystems, and we can see it outpictured. And then we can take the whole, origin of species with Darwin, and he talked about the survival of the fittest. And once again, utterly misunderstood. He didn't mean survival of the fittest, the one that's going to be the strongest or has the most power. It had nothing to do with teeth and claws. It had to do with fitting in to the oneness of the ecosystem. So that on this island, the finches had beaks that were looking like this because that's what the seeds required. And on that island, the finches grew beaks that looked like that because they had different seeds to eat. It wasn't about power or control or teeth or claws. It was about fitting into the oneness of the ecosystem. That's what survival of the fittest actually means. What a mess we've made of that. How much we've forgotten. And again, the ecofeminists have been teaching us now for years that if you really look into biology and you look into the ecosystems, everything is cooperation and collaboration. Right? Everything cooperates with everything else for that ecosystem to thrive. We recognize that when we look in the natural laws, we see the oneness of the spiritual laws outpicturing. We recognize when we look at quantum physics and we look at these ideas of consciousness, once again, we see over and over and over again oneness, the oneness of the quantum field, which is embedded in the space-time continuum, and everything comes from that. And there is no place where consciousness isn't being revealed. And yet an expression out of all of this oneness, what do we have? Difference, don't we? Diversity, multiplicity. We have a million kinds of flowers. Why? Why isn't there just one? What is the point of a million kinds of flowers? For the delight of the divine. Why are you different than your neighbor or your brother or your father or your aunts and uncles or the people down the street, right? Because it's for the delight of the divine. An infinite oneness needs an infinite number of expressions, or it is missing something, and that includes you. That includes you. And so out of this oneness is this extraordinary thing of multiplicity and diversity. And again, it's so important as we take care of our planet to recognize that monocultures don't work. We actually need this diversity. We need it in our plants and in our farms and in our homes. We need it everywhere. That's like the paradox, one of the most amazing paradoxes of the science of mind, that we get it at the core level, that oneness is forever expressed in multiplicity. And it wants to be, and it needs to be, and that's a good thing. And so our awakening, right, this awakening that we are doing is a recognition that this creation is now the place where we have taken the place of evolution. Let me say that again in a different way. We have the opportunity and the possibility now of creating and destroying life. God is no longer required. Because we are the universe who has woken up to the evolutionary process of life, which has brought it to this point, and all of that stuff out there is still working under that way of growing, consciousness expressing, but consciousness here has now expressed to the point where we can choose. And we can create and destroy life. For the purpose, this life, this expression, for the delight of the divine. And yet, as Science of Mind teaches us, that can't be forced. We can't be made to always make the right choice. If we were, we would be robots. So we have been left alone to a certain extent to discover for ourselves the impact of our choices, the impact of our decisions, the ways in which we choose to live and work and love and be, and how that plays out. This is our sandbox. We are not here, you are not here just to learn karmic lessons. You are here to practice creating, to be in the sandbox of life, to create a life, to create your life, and the life that you're creating with others, whether in your family or in your home or in a community or at work or out in the world, in global opportunities, the sandbox of creation. And every one of them is simply a feedback loop. Is it in alignment with life? Is it creating more life or not? So, you are made of star stuff. You are a part of this. We cannot disembed ourselves from it anymore. And just like on our personal evolution process, we begin to make conscious choices. So as we are contributing globally to this beautiful planet, we must begin to make conscious choices about everything. Recycling, energy, the ways in which we live and work, and the impact that that has. Finding ways then to commune with this oneness. The Japanese, you can now get a prescription for a forest bath. Did you know that? You can now get a prescription. I'm giving you all a prescription. When it's not quite so hot, take a forest bath, walk in the woods, sit by a stream, put your back up against a tree, and just be in it. And allow that oneness to nourish your heart, nourish your soul. Remember that there is medicine in nature, because it is part of the expression of life. It's not just physical medicine, although they say every time we cut trees down of the Amazon forest, we're losing the possibility of medicines that we desperately need. But the medicine of flight, which reminds us that we're free, and the medicine of power of the beautiful cats that roam the savannah that remind us that we have power, the medicine of the tree that reminds us that we can be rooted within ourselves, the medicine of the flower that is forever seeking the sun. Every bit of nature has medicine for us. But we just have to be present to it and allow it to be present to us, and we won't find it inside our buildings. We will find it when we walk in the woods, take off our shoes, walk on Mother Earth. And finally, the most important thing, I think, that helps us move beyond this idea that we have dominion is to remember that all of this creation was a part of the evolutionary process to get us where we are today, which is that there are beings that are waking up, that are awakening to themselves as conscious. But for billions of years before that, nature was doing its thing. And it actually doesn't need us to exist. This, I will tell you, was one of the most profound experiences that I've ever had hiking in Colorado when, after I moved to Texas, which was a huge culture shock after the Northwest, I moved to Texas, so I started going hiking in Colorado. And I remember this beautiful hike in this one particular place. And I sat on a rock by a stream, and there was some beautiful meadows, kind of alpine meadows, and across the way, beautiful fir trees and some big rocks, and way over here, Pikes Peak. And I sat on that rock, and I thought, oh, wow, why is it that I love being in nature so much? Why is it that I love to hike? And I just sat there for a while, and I thought, I realized, oh, it's because the trees don't need anything from me. They simply are. They don't need me to applaud them. They don't need me to notice them. They are simply being. The flower does not need me to smell it. Whether I'm there to smell it or not, that flower is simply flowering. And if a bee comes to it, great, and if it doesn't, that's okay too. Life has its own intrinsic value. Every single bit of creation, every aspect of nature has its own intrinsic value. And when we can see that, we give back to nature. In our own consciousness, we give back to it dominion over itself. And I think that then shifts our engagement when we truly become one with it, because we're just as much a part of that as the tree and the bird, and the star, and the flower. Not only are you an expression of life, but you belong in the universe. You belong right here where you are. You belong in your body. You belong in your lives. You belong because the universe has need of you to express it as you, and to share in the joy of creation. Let us pray. And so we just go within for a moment and just allow ourselves to breathe deeply into that remembrance. Find that place to sit, whether it's by the shore or on the sand or in the mountains or in your own backyard. That moment, that place where you feel that sense of connection and belonging. This is the truth. This is the truth of life. That one life, that one infinite power and presence that is forever for life. It is forever moving from being to becoming. It is forever expressing itself. And it needs every bit of creation, and still all that it can be is not yet expressed. So it needs not only an infinite creation, it needs an eternal creation, so that all of the ways in which that one life can be expressed gets to do so. And because I know this is true, I know this is true for each and every one of us, whether we're here in the room or whether we're listening online. All of life, part of that one life. That one life expressed as creation, as us. So this morning, let us affirm and declare that life calls out to life. That love calls out to love, and love responds. That the wisdom and intelligence that has guided evolution for 13.8 billion years surely can guide humanity, our leaders, whether they're political or corporate or business or education or simply the leaders of our own families, can be guided by that same wisdom and intelligence that has unfolded creation for millennium. Life for life, love for love, the delight of the divine forever expressing. And so this morning I affirm and declare that this is the awakening. This is the evolution. And the outpicturing is a healed relationship with nature. And because humanity makes different choices, nature is able to respond with health and well-being. And what I know to be true is that as the word is spoken, so the law must respond. As being becomes, it becomes now in a new way. And because I know it is done as I have spoken, I accept that it is already so. I cheerfully expect all kinds of surprising ways in which I see it, and I celebrate it. I call it good. I let it be. And so it is.
And turn to your neighbor and say, I am a shining star. This is the time of the morning I'm going to invite you to take out your gift, your tithe, your offering, and just take a moment to hold it to your heart and give it your own special blessing. There's several ways that you can give online, in person. You can go to our website and click on the give tag. I think there's a number on the screen where you can call and give. I mean, we are open to however you want it. If you want to give it to me, give it to me. But we also affirm this, and we bless our gift, our tithe, our offering. So please repeat after me. Divine love as me.
Divine love as me.
Blesses and multiplies all that I have.
Blesses and multiplies all that I have.
All that I give.
All that I give.
And all that I receive.
All that I receive.
I joyously contribute to the vision of Ahava.
I joyously contribute to the vision of Ahava.
Knowing it returns to me multiplied abundantly.
Knowing it returns to me multiplied abundantly.
And so it is.
Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful.
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 Grateful.
I'm so grateful.
I'm so grateful.
I'm so grateful.
Oh, so grateful.
I'm so grateful.
I'm so grateful.
I'm so grateful. Grateful.
Tiffany, will you come up here and tear the house up?
I was thinking about this song that we are going to do during that beautiful teaching of nature and speaking of nature. And I think you may even had said these words, that you are the universe. So a little brand new heavies for you this morning. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come on, y'all. Put your hands together. If you want to stand up, move your body a little bit. Shake what your mama gave you. Feel some of that energy and good vibes. You're the future, and you've come for what is yours. The hidden treasure, locked behind those hidden doors. And the promise, yeah, of a day that's shining new. Only a dreamer, yes, could afford this point of view. Come on. But you're a driver, not a passenger in life. And if you're ready, you won't have to try, 'cause you are the universe. And there ain't nothing you can do. If you conceive it, you can achieve it. That's why I believe in you. Yes, I do. You're a winner. So do what you came here for. The secret weapon, yes, isn't a secret anymore. 'Cause you're a driver, not a passenger in life. And if you're ready, you won't have to try, 'cause you are the universe. And there ain't nothing you can do. If you conceive it, you can achieve it. That's why Yes, I do. You are the universe, and there ain't nothing you can do. If you believe it, you can achieve it. That's why I believe in you. Yes, I do. Come on, Joe. Hey. Yeah. Hands together. Come on. Come on. Put your hands together. Come on. Yeah. Get it, Joe. Yes. You're a driver, not a passenger in life. So if you're ready, you won't have to try. Sing. You are the universe, and there ain't nothing you can do. If you believe it, you can achieve it. That's why I believe in you. Yes, I do. You are the universe, and there ain't nothing you can do. If you achieve it, you can believe it. That's why I believe in. One more time, everybody. Come on, what? You are the universe, and there ain't nothing you can do. If you conceive it, you can achieve it. That's why I believe in you. Yes, I do. You are the universe.
You, Tiffany Monique. We love you. You're a shining star, wonderful, just the way you are. We celebrate your sacred face. We love you just the way you are. We love you just the way you are. We do.
Thank you. Hey, everybody. Naila here is going to share what we did today.
Naila.
We heard a video of a guy named Johnny Appleseed, and our affirmation is
Ready? You want to all say it together?
My legacy is love. And we made
Yep. And we made our own Johnny Appleseed hats, if you can't tell. And we talked about what we want our legacy to be in this world, and we all put it on our hats. And we have a little song to share with you all.
All right.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, the world is good to me.
And so I thank the world for giving me the things I need, the sun and the rain and the apple seed. The world is good to me.
One more time. Say it one more time.
Oh,
The world is good to me.
And so I thank
the world for giving me the things I need, the sun and the rain and the apple seed. The world is good
To me. Yeah. Woo!
Take a bow. Walk back to our classroom.
We love our kids. Thank you, and thank you, facilitators, for our Amina and Heather. Such an amazing youth group we have. So don't forget that not only you are the universe, but also remember that there is a blues concert. So you want to check that out. And that practitioners are available to hold your prayer all week long. We have We have a box you can put your request in. And it doesn't always have to be something that's going on that's not good in your life. It can be something that's joyful and wonderful and you want it to continue. So please, on your way into our community room, when you go in there to buy Tiffany's new CD, right? Also, yeah, I can't wait to get that. Also put in your prayer request, and Kim will collect those and be praying over those all week. And I think that is it. So all we need to do really is to stand and do our benediction and dance out, right? Because we are the delight of the divine. Thank you, Reverend Dr. Petra Weldes. Something wonderful is happening to me right now.
Something wonderful is happening to me right now.
It is this thing called life.
It is this thing called life.
Life is in my mind.
Life is in my mind.
Life is in my body.
Life is in my body.
Life is in my forest bathing.
Life is in my forest.
And
bathing.
life is in my affairs.
Life is in my affairs.
I accept it.
I accept it.
I am it.
I am it.
And I share it.
And I share it.
Just the way it appears.
Just the way it appears.
And just the way it appears not.
Just the way it appears not.
Thank you, life.
Thank you, life.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Let me live in a holy, holy way.
Let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Let me love in a holy, holy way.
Let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Let me love in a holy, holy way.
Let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
We want to thank everyone for coming out today, and for those of you who watched online, thank you as well. Don't forget a special round of applause for our two special guests, Reverend Petra and Tiffany Monique. It's been a blast. Thank you. Okay, so have a great week. We'll see you next week. Make good trouble and stay for the cake. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.